Hi everyone, I hope you are doing great. So, I welcome you all back to another lecture. So, this is going to be a one shot of reproduction in humans. So, in this chapter, we are going to study the definition of reproduction, what are the types of reproduction, and then we are going to talk about how reproduction occurs in humans, what are the organs they help in reproduction. So, it is a very easy chapter, and this is one of those chapters you're going to study it for once, and you're going to remember these concepts for the rest of your life. So this is one of those good chapters that no one can ever hit. So let's start with the first topic that is going to be reproduction. So there's going to be one question that is define reproduction and its types. So reproduction is nothing but it is a basic process. It's a very simple process in which a new organism or a new individual is born with the help of the parent generation. So it could be two parents, they are going to make a new individual, or there is going to be a single parent which is going to form a new individual. So with this, we got to know there are two types of reproduction. That is sexual reproduction, and then there is going to be asexual reproduction. So there's going to be one more question defines difference between sexual and asexual reproduction. So you have to write at least 4 to 5 points. So what is asexual reproduction? So it is a type of reproduction in which we only need single parent. There's going to be a one single parent. It is going to form a new individual. And sexual reproduction, in this, you're going to need two parents, that is a male parent and a female parent. Now, we're going to talk about sexual reproduction first, and then I'll talk about the asexual one. So, in this, there's going to be formation of gametes. Now, what are gametes? So, gametes are nothing but these are special cells which helps in reproduction. So, in case of male, it is going to be sperm, and in case of female, it is going to be egg, which is also known as egg or oocyte or ovum. So when these two cells, these are the gametes, when they fertilize, or when we can say it as when they fuse, they're going to form a new individual. So this is the baby. So actually, we should not say it as baby. There is a specific term that is zygote. After that, we are going to call it as embryo, and then it will be known as a fetus, and then a newborn, and etc. So in this, you need two parents, and both the parents they are going to give a special type of cell which are known as gametes. So what are gametes? Gametes are nothing but these are reproductive cells. In case of male, it is going to be a sperm, and in case of female, it is going to be egg in humans. After that, I've talked about the fertilization. Fertilization is nothing but fusion of this male and female gamete. When we fuse these cells, we are going to form a new individual, and that is the here embryo or the zygote. After that, the most important that there is going to be genetic recombination. See, what happens in this type of reproduction is that your dad is going to contribute some amount of chromosomes, that is 23 chromosomes, and your mom, she's also going to contribute 23 number of chromosomes. To make a human, you need 46 chromosomes. If you have this many chromosomes, you can make a human. So dad have contributed around 23 chromosomes, and mom have contributed around 23 chromosomes. As we know, the fusion is known as fertilization, and it is going to give birth to an individual. Now, this individual, it is going to have both the chromosomes, that is from the male parent as well as the female parent. So we are going to get 46 chromosomes again. So in this, there is going to be genetic recombination. Dad's genes as well as mom's gene, they are combining. So that is known as genetic recombination. See, we all look similar to our dad or similar to our mom. Some of our characters are similar to our dad, and some of those characters are similar to our moms. For example, my eye color might be same as my mom. My hair color might be of my dad. My height, genetics from my dad's side. So how I got this information with the help of sperm and egg. So they are the cells which are carrying my parents' information, genetic information. Now this was sexual reproduction. Now we are going to talk about the asexual reproduction. As you all know, you just need a single parent. If there is only one parent, do you need to make gametes, or is there going to be any type of fertilization? No. So there is no specific gamete or any special type of cell which is reproducing. After that, if there is no gametes, there is no fertilization, because for fertilization you need two types of cells, that is male and female cell. So there is no gamete, there is no fertilization, and then there is no genetic recombination. That is, there is no male and there is no female, so there is no gene combination. So how this reproduction occurs? For example, there is going to be one single cell. If the cell wants to divide, it is simply going to split its body into two parts, and that's how we are going to get two new cells. So this is your asexual reproduction, a single cell which is going to form two new cells. Now the next topic is going to be, there are different types of asexual reproduction, that is that single parent one type. So the first type of asexual reproduction is going to be binary fission or the multiple fission. See, fission means to separate. Now, what do you mean by binary? Binary means two. And what do you mean by multiple? Means more than two. So binary fission means there's going to be a single cell which is going to divide, or it is going to split its body into two cells. So from a single body, we got two new cells. This is known as binary fission. Two new cells are formed. Usually, this type of reproduction is seen in your amoeba and paramecium. So these are single cell organisms, unicellular organisms. So this is your paramecium, in which if they want to divide, what are they going to do? They're going to split their body in this axis, and you're going to get two new individuals. And this is your amoeba. So in amoeba, there is no specific axis of division. They're randomly going to split their body, and you're going to get two new cells. So this is binary fission. After that, multiple fission. So this multiple fission, again, we have the example of amoeba. Amoeba can show both type of asexual reproduction, that is binary fission as well as multiple fission. Now, the binary fission will be only done when there is a favorable condition. Means what? My amoeba is getting all kind of nutrition. It's a favorable condition. Then it is going to show binary fission. If, for an instance, there is an unfavorable condition, means what? My amoeba is not getting nutrition. It is a very difficult situation. So, what my amoeba is going to do? This parent amoeba, it is going to stop its pseudopodia formation. So, the first thing would be, it is going to stop its pseudopodia formation. So these are its pseudopodia. This is nothing but a false leg. So you're going to see a rounded structure. After that, they're going to form a cyst around them. It is nothing but a protective covering. After this, what is going to happen? Inside this cyst, there's going to be formation of many small cells. So there's going to be first nuclear division, which is followed by cytoplasmic division. So this is how cell divides. If there is a cell, if this cell wants to divide, and we all know there is going to be a nucleus. So the cell, it is going to do what? First of all, it is going to make two nucleuses. So now it is going to be called as nuclei, and then the entire cytoplasm, it is going to divide. So this is how the amoeba divides. So there's going to be a cyst. Around this cyst, now the cell is going to divide. Many nucleuses are formed. So now it will be called as nuclei. There will be formation of many nuclei. After that, there will be cytoplasmic division. Now, when the favorable condition returns, the cyst will break open, and all these daughter amoebas or the daughter amoebules will be released. So this is your multiple fission. So I'll summarize it one more time. So there are two types of fissions. There is going to be multiple fission, and then there is binary fission. Binary fission is usually seen in favorable condition. The examples are amoeba and paramecium, in which the parent cell, it is simply going to split its body into two. In multiple fission, it is usually seen in unfavorable condition. Example is amoeba. So first thing, the amoeba is going to stop its pseudopodia formation. After that, it is going to form a protective covering, which is known as cyst. And then there is going to be nuclear division followed by cytoplasmic division. After that, as soon there's going to be favorable condition, this cyst will break open and all the daughter amoebas will be released. So these are the two types of fissions. So this was an asexual reproduction. After that, we have one more type, that is budding. So very easy to understand. The only example we are going to see in here, that is going to be hydra. So this is an hydra, which is an animal, a multicellular animal. So what is budding? In this, there is going to be a bud which is formed on the surface of your parent. It is similar to like having a pimple on your skin. So this is your parent body. On this parent body, there is going to be a small outgrowth. That is going to be a bud. So on this parent hydra, you can see there are three new buds are forming. So this bud, they are going to be there uh, till they are mature. As soon as they are mature, they're going to detach themselves from the parent's body, and then they are going to live an independent life. So this was budding. The only example that we are going to remember is going to be hydra. The third type of reproduction is regeneration. Again, we can see there is hydra and starfish. So in this reproduction, I will give you one example related to your starfish. If you cut this part, this entire arm can be regenerated. So few animals, they have very strong ability of regeneration. So one of those example is your starfish and hydra. Now in case of hydra, if you cut your hydra into two to three pieces, like in this manner, each part will give rise to a new hydra. For example, this part, it is going to form a hydra. There's going to be tentacles. Sorry for my great diagram. There's going to be one more hydra, and this third part, it is also going to give a new hydra. So this was regeneration. You're going to cut these animals, they're going to cut their body into multiple pieces. Each piece is going to grow and it is going to form a new individual life. So this was regenerate, to form again, to regenerate. Now we have done with the asexual type. So there were three types. Fission. There is going to be two type of fission, multiple fission and binary fission. After that, we saw budding. On the surface, you're going to see a small outgrowth, that is bud, which is known as budding. And the third one was your regeneration. So now we have completed the asexual reproduction. Now we'll talk about the sexual reproduction in humans. So in humans, we need two sexes. So they are male and then there is going to be a female sex. So the male is going to make the sperm and the female is going to make the ovum. If you look closely, the sperm, it have a head-like structure and then there is a tail. Inside this head, you're going to see the male genes, that is the 23 number of chromosomes, they are present inside the head. And then there is a long tail structure which is there to help the sperm to swim. See, after ejaculation is nothing but to release the sperm inside the female body. So the sperms, once they are inside the female body, the sperm, they have to travel a long distance. They have to find the egg. So for that purpose, the sperm, they have tail, so they can swim very well. After that, there's going to be egg. The egg, you can see it is a simple type of a cell. So there's going to be a cell membrane inside which we are going to see a cytoplasm, and in the center we are going to have nucleus. Inside nucleus, we are going to see the genes of your mom. That is 23 number of chromosomes. So these are the two gametes which are used in the sexual reproduction. Now, what we have to do, we have to fuse them. This process is known as fertilization. So, fusion of male and female gamete is known as fertilization. After fusion, the first cell which is formed, after fusion, the first cell which is formed is known as zygote. So, zygote is a single cell which is going to have 46 number of chromosomes. Now, we are multicellular, so this cell needs to divide. So now the cell, it is going to show division. So this zygote, it is going to divide, and then the second stage is going to be called as two cell stage, in which there is going to be a two cell. So from now, I'm going to call it as embryo. The one single cell stage is known as zygote. Once the zygote starts to divide, I'll call it as embryo. Now this cell, it is going to keep and divide, and there's going to be a day around 14 days something. Now these cells, they're going to differentiate. Means what? Now they are going to divide as well as they're going to differentiate. Means what? Now they are going to form organs. So one of these cells will decide to make heart. So one of these cells will decide to make kidneys, and this is how the entire human structure will be formed. Now after a few days, I'm going to call it as fetus. So after zygote, we are going to call it as embryo, and then we are going to call it as fetus. So that is your fetus. Or the fetus will grow, and then there is going to be delivery of the fetus. That is nothing but your parturition. So for this purpose, you need to understand the male and female reproductive system. So in your textbook, we have this diagram. The most important thing we need to remember is going to be its diagram. The second thing would be its labeling. So in your examination, they're going to ask you draw the entire structure of female reproductive system with its labeling. The second thing would be you have to write the function of each and every single organ. So the first organ that we are going to study, that is going to be ovary. So let me uh, change the color. Yeah. So the first organ or the first structure, which is the most important structure in female reproductive system, is your ovary. So in females, there are pair of ovary. What do you mean by pair? There's a two ovaries. So there's going to be a right ovary and then there's going to be a left ovary. So what is the function of ovary? Every single month, these ovaries are going to secrete one cell that is nothing but your egg. Now, for example, in the month of January, if the right ovary is releasing one egg, in the month of February, the left ovary will release egg. So it is alternating. So if it is January, it is going to release egg from the right side, and in the month of February, it will be from the left ovary. The second function is, the first function was to release egg, that is the female gamete. Now the second function is, these ovaries, they release hormones, which is the most important hormone in the female body. So they are estrogen and progesterone. So this estrogen and progesterone, they give the female their female characters. So two functions are to make egg, and then there is to release hormones. They are estrogen and progesterone. Now once these eggs are released, as you all can see, there is a long tube-like structure. So this is nothing but your oviduct, which is also known as fallopian tube. So this fallopian tube, it is going to receive your egg. The second thing, this is the most important site. So this is the site for fertilization. This is the site for fertilization. Means what? The sperm, it is going to swim and it is going to come here. There's going to be the egg. The sperm, it is going to fuse with this egg and it is going to form the zygote. So the formation of zygotes, the site for fertilization, all of these are your fallopian tube. Now one more thing, the fallopian tube, it is going to connect the ovary with the uterus. As you all can see, there is a very big muscular structure in the center. There's only one uterus. So this uterus is connected to your ovary with the help of your fallopian tube. For example, if there is formation of the embryo, so this embryo is going to come down, it is going to implant in this uterus. Now, what do you mean by implant or implantation? So implantation is nothing but this embryo, it is going to fix itself into this structure, that is your uterus. So now this embryo, it is going to grow in this uterus for the next 9 months, and after that you're going to see the delivery of the embryo or the fetus. So the uterus, it is a muscular structure. It is the site for implantation. Now, what is implantation? Means what? This is the site where the embryo is going to implant. It is going to fix to its wall. But if possible, you need to remember one more word, that is the endometrium. Endometrium. So endometrium is nothing but the innermost wall or the innermost lining of the uterus. So in that wall, this fetus is going to implant itself. Now, one more important thing, that is, you might be aware of, there is one uh, process which happens in the female body, that is menstrual cycle, which is also known as periods. So that is nothing but every single month the women will be bleeding. So that bleeding is due to this endometrium, that is the part of uterus, the innermost lining. It starts to shed off. It ruptures. Now, why it happens, I'll explain it to you afterwards. You just need to remember, the endometrium, it sheds, it starts to rupture, and due to this, there will be formation of blood, and this blood, it is going to be flowing through the vagina every single month. So that is the periods that we all know. So we are done with the ovaries. After that, we have done with the fallopian tube. Now we have completed the uterus, site for implantation, as well as it is the site for the development of the embryo or the fetus. After that, there is a very small narrow opening which is known as the cervix. So cervix, it is a very small opening. So the cervix, it is present between the vagina and the uterus. Now the vagina. So vagina, it is a organ. It is present inside the body. It is not present outside. Usually we think the vagina is a structure we can see from the outside. No, that is not the vagina. That is known as vulva. I have a diagram. I will show it to you in a minute. Now, the functions of vagina. So, the vagina is a structure which is known as the birth canal. Now, what do you mean by birth canal? Once the embryo or the fetus is fully developed, fully matured, now it is going to come out. So, it is going to come out through this opening which is known as vagina. So that is the first function. Second one, the menstrual bleeding also occurs through this region. Right now, we have talked about the endometrium. It is going to shed off every single month, and then there's going to be bleeding. So this bleeding, this blood, it is going to flow through this region. So second one is it is going to carry the bleeding of the menstrual cycle. Now the third most important function is going to be it is a copulatory organ, or it is the organ where the penis penetrates. So the penis, it is going to enter up to this region. It cannot cross the cervix. It is going to enter up to this region, and the penis, it is going to uh, deposit the semen. So it is also known as the site for ejaculation. That is the part where the semen is ejaculated or deposited. So these were the functions related to your vagina. And then there is going to be a vaginal opening, which is outside the body, which we can see. So to understand the female reproductive system, I have a diagram. So we are going to see from the behind, and then we are going to move forward. So this is a photo which is taken in a lateral aspect. That is, you are going to see a human from the sideward. So on the most posterior part, on the most backside, you're going to see the large intestine, and then there is going to be opening which is known as the anal opening. After that, in the between, you're going to see the reproductive system. So this is the vaginal opening. This is vagina which is present inside the body, and this is uterus, the site for implantation of the embryo. And if you see, there is one more system which is in front side of your uterus. This is your urinary system. So this is the urinary bladder which is going to have the urine, and after this you're going to see a small opening, a small tube-like structure which is known as your urethra. So your reproductive system is it is present in between your digestive system and your excretory system. So this is excretory system, this is reproductive system, and this is your digestive system. So I hope you guys have a idea about the orientation of female body. Now we are going to talk about this region, that is the vulva. So this is vulva. As we all know, the most posterior or the most structure which is the behind is the anal opening. This is the vaginal opening, which is the reproductive opening, and then in front we are going to see the urethral opening, that is nothing but the urine. So in females there are specific opening for specific process. So the urine will be coming out from this part, the menstrual blood, and then the site for uh, ejaculation, as well as the birth canal. All of these are this region. Now we have completed with the female reproductive system. Now we are going to talk about the male reproductive system. So the first structure that we are going to study, that is going to be the testis. So in males, there is going to be a pair of testes, that is the right testis and the left testis. Now we need to understand, actually, before birth, when we were inside mother's womb, that is the uterus. So the testes were inside our body, that is inside the abdominal cavity. Now, as we mature, as we grow before the birth, these testes, they are descendant outside of the body. Means what? They were present inside the abdominal cavity, and after a certain time, they come out of our body, and now they are present inside our scrotal sac. So that skin-like structure that we can see from our eyes, that is the scrotal sac. So the scrotal sac, it is going to contain your testes. Now, why did the testes came out of your body? The reason is to make sperm. See, the testis is the site where the sperm cells are formed, the male gametes are formed. Temperature for the production of sperm, it has to be 2 to 3 degrees less than your body temperature. We all know our body temperature is around 37 degree. So for the production of sperm, you need around 35 or 36 degrees or 35 degrees. For this reason, the testis came out of your body. Now it is present inside the scrotal sac. So that was the reason. So we have done with the scrotal sac and then the testis. Now the function of testis, it is the site for the production of sperm cells. And second one, it is also the site where the testosterone is made. Testis makes testosterone, which is the male hormone. It gives us the male characters. After that, the next structure, if you look closely, uh, behind the testis, there is going to be a long tube-like structure which is known as epididymis. It is known as epididymis. It is around 6 meters long. It is a very long structure, very small tube-like structure. It is highly coiled. So If it is testis, you can see the epididymis, they are present behind the testis. So it is a long tube-like structure. Now, the function of epididymis is this is a site where the sperm cells mature. The sperm cells, they learn how to swim, and overall development occurs in this part, that is epididymis. After your epididymis, these sperm cells, they are carried via a tube, which is known as the sperm duct, which is also known as vas deferens. So these are two tube-like structures. So these are going to come from your epididymis, and it is going to enter inside your body, and they are going to open inside a structure which is known as your prostate gland. The prostate gland, it is the only gland which is present in males. Females do not have prostate gland. So this sperm duct or the vas deferens, it is going to enter inside our body, and then it is going to enter the prostate gland. Now, the most important thing we need to remember, behind this prostate gland, there is a gland which is known as seminal vesicle. Now, this seminal vesicle, the function of seminal vesicle is it is going to pour some secretion. Till this sperm that we have sperm cells only. Now, as soon as the sperm cell crosses this sperm bed, this seminal vesicle, they are going to secrete some fluid. So this fluid with your sperm cells, now it will be known as semen. So semen is nothing but seminal vesicle secretion plus sperm cell plus prostate glands secretion. All together is going to make your semen. So semen is that white liquid that we can see, that milky color liquid. So in this we have sperm cell. Now one more thing that we need to remember related to the seminal vesicle is that it is going to give fructose. Fructose is a sugar. Why do we need fructose? Why the sperm cells need fructose? Because we all know the semen, it is deposited in the vagina. After that, it has to cross the cervix, then uterus, and they have to reach the fallopian tube. For this purpose, they need to swim. For this purpose, they need energy. So this energy is given by the seminal vesicle in the form of fructose. Fructose is nothing but it is a sugar which is going to give energy for your sperm cells to swim. So the seminal vesicles, they are also in a pair, right side and the left side. Now this all these structures, they are going to open inside your prostate gland. So it is a gland which is a single gland. Now this prostate gland, it is also going to contribute its secretion. After all this secretion, we are going to call this as the semen, which is nothing but the white liquid. Now below the below the prostate gland, there is going to be a small structure, a small overt structure, which is known as the corpus gland. So this corpus gland, it is very important. It is going to secrete some lubrication. A similar gland, it is also present in female. I'll show it to you. So in females, inside this structure, inside your vulva, there is going to be a structure which is known as Bartholin's gland. So in females, the Bartholin gland, and in males, the corpus gland, they both have a same function, that is to secrete lubrication. Now, why you need lubrication? So during intercourse, during sexual intercourse, when the penis is penetrating the vagina, so it should not be painful. So to reduce the pain, so we can have friction. So both the male and female, they are going to secrete lubrication so that we can have sex easily. So the corpus gland, it is going to secrete lubrication. After that, this is a long tube-like structure, as we all can see over here. This is known as urethra. In female also we have studied urethra. In male also there is urethra. The only difference is in female urethra, I'll show it to one more time. As we all know, this is the urinary bladder which is going to have urine, and this is urethra. The female urethra, it is only going to carry the urine, and it is very small, around 2 to 4 centimeter. But in case of male, the urethra is a very long structure, around 17 to 20 centimeter long. And this urethra, it is going to carry two things. Either it is going to carry urine, or it is going to carry your semen. One of these at a time. Means what? If you are urinating, at that time the semen is not going to come out, and if you are uh, releasing your sperm or your semen, at that time you cannot release your urine. So this urethra, it is going to carry both. It is going to carry the urine as well as the semen. Hence, it is also known as urinogenital duct. Urinogenital duct. Urino because it is going to carry urine. Genital. So this word genital, it is usually used related to reproductive organ. So it is going to carry urine as well as the semen. Hence, your urethra, it is also known as urinogenital duct, which is a common passage through which sperm as well as urine will pass. Now, this urethra, you can see it is present inside your penis. That is the reason it is a long tube-like structure. So the last structure that is going to be the penis. The head of the penis is known as glans, and there is a skin which can be retracted. You can pull it back, then you have to urinate. So that skin is known as the foreskin. So these are the structures that we need to understand from the male reproductive system. So we have talked about the prostate gland. So this is that gland which is going to secrete. Its secretion is alkaline secretion. Now the reason why it is secreting alkaline secretion, because the female's vagina, it is acidic. See, the reason why it is acidic, because the female, they are more prone to get infections because they have to sit while they are urinating, and their reproductive organs, they are very much exposed to the environment. So it is very easy to get infection. So that is the reason they have a very acidic pH over their vaginal region. Now, the reason why the semen is alkaline, because if it is not alkaline, the vaginal acidic pH, it is going to kill all the sperm. So we don't need that. So that is the reason the semen, it is going to have alkaline nature. So it is going to neutralize. After that, we talked about the corpus gland, or two small ovoid shaped gland. Its function is to secrete lubricant, and a similar type of organ we have seen in the female, that was Bartholin's gland. After that, urethra is nothing but a long tube-like structure which is going to carry the urine and the semen, but one at a time. And we all know what is semen. Semen is nothing but it is going to carry sperm cell secretions from the seminal vesicle, that is fructose and its fluid, secretion from the prostate gland, that is alkaline secretion, and then the secretion of the corpus gland, that is the lubrication. All together, that white liquid is known as semen. Now, ejaculation, a single ejaculation, it is going to carry 2 to 3 ml of your semen and around 20 to 40 crore sperm cells. So that liquid, it is going to carry 20 to 40 crore sperm cells. You have to understand the orientation. I have one more diagram. So behind, we have the digestive system, that is the large intestine, and this is the anal opening. And in front of this, we have urinary system. So this is the urinary bladder in which we are going to have the urine. And this is the urethra, a long tube-like structure which is present throughout the length of the penis. And this is the reproductive system, that is nothing but this is the scrotum, which is going to have testes, a pair of testes. Behind the scrotum, we have epididymis, and then there is sperm duct, or the vas deferens. Now, this vas deferens, it is going to enter the body. It is going to go behind the bladder, and it is going to enter inside the prostate gland. And on the sides, we have seminal vesicles. All of these secretions are poured inside the your urethra. So this urethra, it is going to carry the sperm as well as the urine, but both not simultaneously, but one at a single time. So now with this, we have completed the male and the female reproductive organs. Now we'll talk about the fertilization and implantation. So during sexual intercourse, semen, it is deposited in the vagina. Now the sperm cells, they have to swim. We know this very well. They have tail for this purpose, and they have energy which is given by the seminal vesicles, that is the fructose. Now only one of these cell, it is going to fertilize, and it is going to form the zygote. And with this, we have completed the fertilization too. Now, what is implantation? Implantation is nothing but this fertilized embryo, this zygote. It start to divide. It will start to do cell division, and it is going to form a small structure which is full of cells. Now, it is going to implant. It is going to place itself in the endometrium. That is nothing but the innermost lining of the uterus. And then this baby is going to grow, Now we can see around 2 months, you're going to see the limbs of this embryo is formed, and around the fifth week, you're going to see the heart and the that is the cardiovascular system is formed. After that, you're going to see the growth and the birth. So growth means what? It is an irreversible process, irreversible increase in the size and the weight of an individual. Uh, so this zygote, it is going to divide and it is going to grow. So that is your growth. Now there is one word which is very interesting, that is cell differentiation. What is cell differentiation? Now during this growth, you know, the in the beginning it is just going to be a cluster of cells, and there is going to be a one day these cells they will start to form the organs or the tissues. So when these cells they form different type of cells, this is known as cell differentiation. Means what? One of these cell it will decide to form the organs like brain. One of these cell will decide to form the heart. One of these cell forms kidney. So now these cells are not just dividing, they are differentiating. So these cells they will be forming different types of organs and tissues. So that is cell differentiation. And with this, you're going to see a baby growing. And then there is going to be birth. Birth is nothing but in humans, it is around 280 days. The full development of the embryo, this entire period is known as the gestation period. Now, how does a baby comes out? We all know cervix. So if this is your uterus, we have cervix over here, and then there's vagina. The baby's head, it is going to come in contact with the cervix. The cervix will send some signals to the brain. Now there are some hormones which is going to secrete. So they are oxytocin, which is going to cause contraction if of this muscular structure, that is your uterus. So when this structure is going to contract, the baby is going to expel out. The baby is going to come out, and that this is how birth take place. And now the next topic, that is going to be puberty. So this puberty is nothing but it is the period in which you're going to see reproductive maturity. So in males, it is, or in boys, it is around the age of 12, around the age of, sorry, it is around the age of 13, we see the reproductive maturity. And in girls, it is slightly earlier. Around the age of 12, you can see uh, the reproductive system, they starts to mature. So what is puberty? What happens in boys and girls? So there's a table which is given in your book. So how can we say that the male or the female, the boy or the girl is in their puberty? So the first thing you can see, that is the in girls you can see there will be enlargement of the breast. That is nothing but the breast size will enlarge, and in boys that is going to be enlargement in the testes. The second thing would be in males, there will be, from this age, the semen will start to produce, the sperm cells will start to produce. In females, from this time, from this age, they will start to have their menstrual cycle. That is nothing but that bleeding stage, that every month there will be a secretion or the release of a single cell, that is your egg. So in males, in you are going to see the production of sperm, and in females, you're going to see release of egg. Second thing would be in males, obviously, there's going to be growth in the size of penis and scrotum. Now, the third point is there is going to be a spurt growth. There will be a sudden growth in males. Now, the most important that in the boys, you can see the shoulder girdle, that is your shoulder region. It is going to grow broader, more than your pelvic region, that is your hip region. But in female, it is the exact opposite. In females, the hip will grow wider, the pelvic region, and their shoulders they do not grow that much wider. After that, in the males, you can see during this age, you will see there's going to be formation of chest hair, underarms hair, pubic hair, mustache, and beard. In females, you won't see any body hair that much. They obviously they do not have beard or mustache or chest hair. Now, the last thing would be the change in the voice. So, we males, we have low pitch voice. That is nothing but we have a deeper voice. And in female, they will have a higher pitch voice. So, these are the main changes you will see during the puberty. That is sexual development. Now, all of these are happening because of your sperm production and your egg production. Because during that time, many hormones are released. In case of males, that is testosterone. So actually, this testosterone it is going to cause all these uh, changes in your body. That is growth of your shoulder, your voice become deeper, your growth of your mustache and beard, all of these because of your testosterone. Same in females. With the production of the eggs, there's going to be release of estrogen. So this estrogen, it is going to cause the enlargement of the breast, the female voice, and all of those female characters. Now the last two topics, that is going to be adolescence and adult. So what is adolescence? It is nothing but your teenage life. So teenage life, it starts from your 13 till 18. See, the 13 and 18, it ends with teen. So this is the period from your 13 to 18. In this uh, age, you're going to see a development in your all areas, that is mental development, physical development, reproductive development, emotional development, all of these development. Now the last topic, that is going to be the adulthood. So after adolescence, you're going to be an adult. So in this adulthood, you will see there is going to be complete maturation in your mental, physical, emotional, reproductive parts, and you are legally independent. You can do your stuffs on your own. So with this, we have completed this chapter. I hope this chapter was easy for you guys. If you like this video, share it with your friends and please subscribe to this channel. So I will see you all soon. Chalo, bye bye.